Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Jacob, and in this video we're going to be quickly going over the display property in CSS. Now there's another video that I made about block and inline elements, and that's definitely related to this topic, so I'll provide a link in the description. This video is going to go a little bit more in depth than that one though. Alright, so let's get started. Each element in this page has a display property. It's usually inline or block. Block elements take up the full width available to them and push the elements around them onto new lines, and inline elements flow along with the rest of the content. So that means that headers like this, they're block level elements because they push all of this content aside because they're so wide, whereas links like this one, they're inline because they flow along with the rest of the content, and they only take up the space that is needed for the content inside of them. Most HTML elements have a default display property, and we can change that in CSS. So let's change our links and see what that looks like. For now, I'm just going to add a border so we can see what it looks like right now. Okay, so the bounds are just wrapping the content right now, but if we change the display to block, now the bounds aren't wrapping the content, but rather they're taking up the whole width available to them, and pushing this link is pushing this text down here down to a new line. And each of these links, which used to be in a horizontal line, are now in a column. Alright, so that's all well and good, but it doesn't really look very good. So let's save this, and that's how it looks by default. And now let's change up our paragraphs, because paragraphs are block level elements. So that's, since we left that at block, that's just going to display them how they normally are, but with a border. So we can see how that works. But if we change it to inline, change the display to inline, save, refresh, now it looks a little bit funny because the bounds of the paragraph elements are wrapping around their content, and they're not trying to push any content down to new lines. Of course, since we don't have any consecutive paragraphs here, oh, we have one right here. So it runs it together. And we have this block quote right in the middle here. And that's kind of breaking it up because block quotes are displayed block by default. So let's change that. Display inline. And now it totally runs together here. Of course, we have a line break in the HTML right there. So if we remove that and save, then it all runs together because they're all inline elements. Not by default, but we just messed it up in the CSS. Alright, so let's put that back. And remove this. And the border, and make that block again. Alright, so one last display property we're going to go over. This one is pretty useful. Display none. Guess what that does? Well, that certainly was traumatic. It literally says don't display the element at all. Now keep in mind this doesn't change the HTML at all, it just changes how it's being displayed. Okay? Okay, let's get rid of this. And we're back. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. Hope you found it enjoyable. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Jacob, and have a good one.